Testing 1, 2. Just kidding. All right. Not owning Cutco, guys, is insanity. So, guys, your number one job and your number one focus is you have to be truly motivated to sell. Number one, if you're not motivated to sell, you just don't listen to this message, right? You're here for a reason. You want to be here. So have a mindset to get really good at selling. Because, and I'm not just talking about Cutco, this is huge for learning how to influence people, how to speak, who you end up in your life, who you end up with in your life. But you have to be truly motivated to sell. The next thing is you have to believe in what you sell. Cutco is the best. You have to know that. You have to believe that. So I'm going to give you guys 9 quick keys and quick things I want you guys to focus on. So here are some tools. Number 1, come prepared to your demos. Have your scripts, have your sales, have your schedule, like have all this stuff ready. Have your notebook ready to take notes on the customer, on what they really like. Have notes, be ready to like crush it. So if I'm playing a sport, I'm not going to like show up to the game without my like uniform or shoes. Right? So have your tools. Number 2 is dress the part. Your background matters. Your background matters. You dressing nice matters. Number 3, memorize the close like it's your birthday. If you don't have the close memorized, you're not going to be as confident on asking for the order. When I say memorize the close, that's not just page 9, it's also the objections. Know your objections, study that. Like if you're here, you're showing up to these meetings, you're making these calls, the people that get $1,000+ average orders know their stuff. Managers that do better here than others just know their stuff more. Know your names and uses. Are you an expert at every single piece that you're talking about? I had one of my assistant managers call me the other day. She's like, I just wish I knew more about the hunting knives. Great. Ask your manager, we'll give you the tools to execute. Number 4. Rapport, rapport, rapport. 90% of your presentation should be a relationship building part. 10% demo. I've seen customers that I've like not built the relationship because they're well off. I was like, you know what? I don't need that. I don't need to build that rapport. They got money. I used to pull up to these houses in like Hinsdale and like downtown, Orland Park. And I was like, I don't need to like build that relationship. They could just buy. I cut corners on that. And I would sell less. And there's other people like Mrs. Koval. It was like somewhere in, I think around Berwyn area. Pulled up. It's a corner house, normal like brick ranch style. So, oh, well, let's see what happens here. They're older too. Signature with steak. When I asked for the order, I was literally nodding my head for like, they left the kitchen, came back. I'm like, all right, so we get this. We can get the kitchen tools for free. I'm like, yes. Okay, can we also get the scissors? I can do that for you. Like, all right, we'll get it. Guys, you gotta take interest in other people. I've been in demos for 3 hours before when we were in person. So we're like, how do I make my demo shorter? Sure, your demo will work on that. But if you're cutting the rapport part, you're shooting yourself in the foot. I've given Miss Jones advice on their kids on where they should go to college. I had a lady that was like, oh, my daughter wants to go to DePaul or U of I, but like, I'm scared she's gonna party too much. I'm like, Miss Jones, you raised your daughter well enough for her to make that decision. Let her have fun. If she's gonna party too much, then have a conversation. But like, college is an experience. Have her experience. I don't. If you raise her right, which if she's like you, Mrs. Jones, I think she'll be fine. I remember Darla was like one of our reps a couple years back. She was like, this lady just invited me to her lake house. She said I could come over whenever. Or like, this lady wants me to babysit. That's, if they trust you to do that, it's really good. Or like, hey, sometimes I was asked that lady with the college advice. At the end, she's like, are you single? Like, my daughter is single. I'm like, I was in a relationship back then. Could have taken that one. I'm just kidding. But take interest in other people. Rapport is your job. Relationship building is your job. Number 5, Cutco is the best, and believe it. It's the best thing since sliced bread. It's the best thing since sliced bread. And you have to know that. During that Junk Knife page, you are finding out what they have, and you are crushing it. I don't care if someone has Henkels. I don't care if they have Wishnoff. Because guess what? If someone has a Mercedes, in 10 years, that Mercedes is trash. Because parts are way too much money, and the value of that product goes down so much because the parts break. I remember growing up, my uncle had a Mercedes. It was never at home because it was always at the shop. And I was like, man, what's going on? He's like, man, I got this thing for a deal, but it's always breaking down. He's like scarred me to get Mercedes. My other uncle had a Audi, same thing. They're like, don't get Audis. Their friend had a Lexus. They're like, don't get Lexuses. And I'm like buying these cars, and when I look at these cars, it's like ingrained in my head that I'm like, so I have to like do research to see if they're still bad. But guys, if they get Henkels, yes, it's good when you get it. In 10 years, is it going to be good? No, they're going to buy another set. 10, 15 years. You have to know and truly believe that Cutco is the best. Because they're never guys, they're not just buying for themselves, they're buying for their kids. It's number 6. It is not a purchase, it is an investment. You can have people repeat this line after you read them the guarantee. The great thing about Cutco, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, that if you're not absolutely satisfied with Cutco, within the 15 days of it, you can return it in full as a full refund. No questions asked. Right? That's in the manual. Go off on that. You can literally try out Cutco with no risk. So we can really see this Cutco set, how it sets apart in your customer's satisfaction. But this guarantee also makes Cutco something that no other brand can call itself. Ms. Jones, repeat after me. Cutco is not a purchase. 3-second pause. It is an investment. It's all psychology because you have to like change her mindset of her consumer behavior from a consumer to an investor. They have to think about this as like an investment, because normal consumer products are like done, right? You have them for like a year. Ice cream, you have it in like 2 minutes. I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, damn, I spent a lot of money on ice cream. Like $10 for Jenny's ice cream. $10 a day is a freaking homemaker. You're telling me that if your customer's able to rent out, I spend so much money on ice cream. If your customer can rent out the homemaker for $10 a day, would they get it? 100%. Miss Jones, is $300 today. Comes out to be like $10 a day for 5 months for Knives for Life, for not only your life, for your kids' life. It's an investment. They have to understand why Cutco is an intelligent choice. Not only do you get the best, you get the best forever. Drill this point home. If you can convince them it's investment, by the way, it is. Half of your sales are already made. Because like I said, people are spending money on ice cream. They're spending money on eating out. They're spending money on random things that aren't going to be selling or that aren't going to last a long time. It's so much easier to sell when you drill that point home. Number 7, never feel guilty for people buying more Cutco. Because guess what? Said this earlier. They buy a car. In 10 years, they're going to buy another car. Maybe 20. Maybe they'll get lucky and last 20 years. But I really doubt that your customer in 20 years is going to get a worse car. Usually the people on the streets that are driving the nicer cars are older. Or like you'll see that retired grandpa in like his convertible Mercedes cruising around. Whether it's useless amenities, whether it's at the restaurant, whether it's Jenny's Ice Cream or Dairy Queen. $10 a day for the homemaker. Guys, the homemaker is great. The galley's sick too. The starter sets are $100 for the studio set a month. That's $3 a day. You guys heard Nick say this earlier, but like if they don't want it and they're fully like against the homemaker, hey, no problem. Here's our next set. They're very relaxed. And then using that trade-in special when you really need to. Number 8. Cutco salesman or woman is not the only title that you have. Some days you're a sales rep. Other days you're a tutor. Occasionally you're like an investigator. And other days you might be like a hacker trying to break into your customer's like defense system. View this job as like a mission. It's like a game. When you go on a Zoom with the customer, scope out what's on their Zoom. What do you see? What do you notice? Relate to them. I know some of you like shop at Lulu. If you notice there's some Lulu, this shows up Lulu. I love Lulu. Boom, she loves quality. Ms. Jones, that kitchen is sick. Like you're limited because it's like that screen, but like notice these things. If they're a teacher, relate investing and educating to educating or investing in Cutco. If they have kids, remind them that it's not just for them, it's for their kids. Part of the rapport building in this case is not only to get other people to trust you, but it's also a great opportunity to shoot down any objections that come up. Be a scavenger finder. Search for ways where what they're saying can help you close. Watch their body language. Anticipate where the combo goes next, right? If they're crossed arms, are they focused? Is there like, are they on their phone? Talk about that, by the way. If they're on their phone, get your energy up. Get excited. They're not like, you gotta keep them engaged. It's not just you speaking, it's you and the customer. As for like the hacker reference, sometimes you're like that because, guys, sometimes your customer will go into like defense mode because you just ask them to spend $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 on knives. And like, you're like, you can't, don't stop there. You got to figure out how to get past that. And to get past that, you have to understand that what you're selling benefits them more than you. What's the defense? Is it too much money? What is it? What is it? You're finding that out. And you have to know the product more than them so you can handle these things. And don't go out without a fight. You're breaking that, figure it out. You're finding out what's going on. Because guess what? In the end, they're always going to be happier. Number 9, have confidence in the close. Have confidence in the close. You not just the close, but have confidence in yourself. And this is a common theme. Own that you're selling the best product in the world and that everyone should have it. Because not owning Cutco is insanity. Guys, let's focus on kicking ass these next couple of days. Come to Champs Club, listen to Vector Connect talks, reach out to your managers. We want to help you. We got your back. For real. For real. Appreciate you guys. How do I stop this? Woo! Thanks, Evan.